Hello everyone, Blight here. So in this video I'm testing Blight scarab of Blightheart. So what this scarab did is basically, and now you only have one big Blight chest at the end of the Blight. So the Blight chest itself at the end of the Blight will be a bit RNG depending on what kind of Blight chest you're going to get. But the other mechanic that we're going to test on the Blightheart is it's going to spawn more monster. And if we combine that with Blight spawn node on the Atlas tree, which make one of your lane will have only Blight bosses. So now we're going to have a lot of Blight bosses. So let's begin with the setup. For the maps, I'm using 8 mod city square. And there's a 2 mod that I will not recommend to run it with. Number 1 is the monster cannot be stunned. And the second one is monster speed cannot go below base value. And for the reason for the city square, because city square I have 3 bosses and also city square is pretty small, so it's very easy to find the Blight. So what I usually do is just go inside the maps, kill the bosses, and then I will find the Blight, do the Blight, and get out from the match. So the match is not going to be very long. So for the scarabs, I will use 1 titanium scarabs. That we add quantity rarity into the unique monster based on our path test, and that's the reason why I'm using 8 mod over here. I'm also going to use 2 scarab of Weeps, 1 Blight scarab of Blightheart. And for the last slot, I will test 2 options. So the option 1 is Titanic Scarab of Treasure, and the second option is Titanic Scarabs of Legends. And for the Atlas tree, this is the Atlas tree that I'm going to use. We take all the Blight node except for this node over here, Fungal Horizon, because I'm not farming Blight map, but if you want, can take this node too. Another node is I'm taking Destination of Destructions, and this is because the Blight monster, when you're getting waves, it can get very tanky, and if you combine that with Titanic Scarab of Legend, it can get very insane. So having less life make it easier for me to take care of the Blight bosses. But of course, this node is not mandatory if your build already have good enough DPS. And I'm also taking all the scarab node. You get quite a lot of scarabs, not as much as T17, but decent amount of scarab for T16s. We're also taking all the quantity node on the middle wheel over here, and also the 3 small wheel over here is going to give quantity and rarity. And the next one is this node over here. This one is not really mandatory, especially if you do the map like me, where you're not really clearing all the maps. You can actually change this 4 node over here and just put it over here, like scarabs node over here, and that's probably fine. But if you want to clear the maps, then taking this will give you more altars. So I think that's all about the Atlas tree. And now let's do the map and let's see what we get. So this is the result from 100 maps, so 50 map for Titanic Scarab of Treasure, and this is 50 map for Titanic Scarab of Legend. And for the cost per map is 0.2 divine, so it's not too expensive. The result is pretty good, I will say. We get quite a lot of raw currency, And also we get quite a lot of oils too. The this section is a little bit dry on the blood chest. If you get a lot of blood chest at the end, you're usually going to see a lot more golden oil. And in this case, on the first session I do get quite a lot of them, but on the second session I get a lot less. So further boxes, we get more further boxes here, some 4.8 recorded key, some another support. And for the Divine Beauty, this is because I'm scrying Underground Sea to City Square, so I can drop Divine Beauty on City Square. You probably won't get this one if you do not scry the Underground Sea. And pretty decent amount of T17. And we also get decent amount of scarabs. And for scarab, I'm cutting off the 5C mark, so any scarab below 5C, I'm not going to include it in the profit. But you do get a lot more cheap scarabs. We get quite a lot of good one. Awakening here, Pandemonium. Here I got 2 Containment, 1 Blade Rings, 1 Plotline, Cornucopia. So the scarab is pretty good. Like I said, you get decent amount of scarabs, even though it's not as much as the 17. The other part is also the unique. Unique and fracture is not included in the profit because that will be very hard to price. In terms of unique, I do not get anything fancy. I get Great Wolf here, Blood Notch here. Nothing fancy, nothing expensive, but you do get a lot of like small unique. Usually I like to pick up ring or amulet. I like to throw them to dust because they only take 1 slot, so you can fill up a lot of them, so you don't have to come back too often to the King Smudge. And you also get quite a lot of fracture items. And this one I think is pretty expensive. It's around 4 to 5 div. It's simply because this is the Wyvern scale base, so it does work quite a bit. And this one is one of the sub base is I think is Wither reduce all elemental resistance. That one is like 15 divine, so you do get quite a lot of fracture, and maybe you get lucky on the fracture. And because this is very RNG, this is why I'm not including on the profit. But you do get a lot of unique, you do get a lot of fracture. I think in terms of profit, legend or treasure is more or less the same. The only difference is for legend you're going to get more uniques, so more chance for the jackpot. But legend does come with a lot higher difficulty. For the one thing, this one is 4 to 6 minutes. It's pretty fast. I think most of them is like 4 to 5 minutes. And the legend can go up to 7 minutes, just because some black bosses with Wisps and legends, it can get very tanky, so it takes me a while to kill the boss. This is also based on my character. My character have like 35 million DPS, so it's not very high. And if you have something like Penance Brand, you probably can do it a lot faster than me. And the gold is really good, and this one is like 46k gold per maps, and this one is 55k gold per maps. So the gold is really good. You get a lot of unique to dust. So I do recommend trying these farms. I think this is a very cool farms, very interesting, especially the loot explosion at the end is always satisfying, especially if you get something good. And I think that's all I have for you today. If you find this video helpful, please leave a like and a subscribe. That will help the channel a lot. And as usual, if you guys have any questions, leave it in the comment below. I will try my best to answer it. So thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you in the next one.